Hi, Perfect Spirit. I'm Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. I hope you're well, enjoying life. So let's create a miracle in your life today, right here, right now. You can create that miracle. So let's see what we're diving into today. I had a video request today, and please send me your questions or requests, what you'd like to see videos on. Please subscribe, like this, so more people can see this information, this truth. So we just had an interesting conversation with Robert Phoenix earlier, so you can go see that interview. That was a nice discussion with Robert Phoenix on his channel. But the request I have for the video today is, actually it was healing of COVID, but I'm going to be more specific. Holistic healing of COVID, dealing with the trauma of COVID, once you have it, and then how that changes and affects you once you're dealing with that disease or whatever you want to call COVID. There is something out there. I don't know how quite to define it. Why isn't there a COVID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then suddenly 19? COVID 2019, what about COVID 2020? What about COVID 2021? Why 19? Why was that one, so dangerous, if you will? I just feel that there was some human intervention with that. And we'll leave it out there. But something is going on out there. People are getting sick. People are dying. So something is out there, and it does need some serious precaution. So what I want to talk about, this holistic healing of COVID, we simply have to remember that we have the power to do the impossible, to create miracles. But when you're in the middle of something, that is much easier said than done. When I was dealing with my ailments, the MS, bipolar, I wasn't focused on healing because that would have been too big of a leap for the mind to take, to go there. It had all this stories about how it was incurable and all that stuff. And we have likewise those stories around COVID, that there's no answer out there. The only answer is to prevent it with this vaccine. But no, there is a cure. The cure is right in here. You know the way to heal your body. But when you're dealing with this, all these stories, and when you're sick, you just want it to go away. But pushing it away is like pushing against the wall. It actually enforces it because you're giving it energy, you're giving it charge. The best way to do is like, okay, I'm feeling congested, I'm feeling this way. How can I be at peace with that feeling? And just constantly focus on how can I be at peace in this situation. And that's the real secret, is that peace is the energy of transformation. The peace that originates deeper within us is that source of transformation. It's not up in here because this mind doesn't know. It's always guessing. But these deep insights, these aha moments, these flashes of insights that we all get, that gut feeling, you got to trust that and believe in that. But that voice comes first. This voice rises first. Then this voice comes second, telling you why that's incorrect. So the holistic way to take care of COVID is to tap into your own power, your own strength, then following your own wisdom. Oh, I need to go take this herb. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. And there's not one way, just your recipe. Society wants to define us by a magic solution, a magic pill. The only magician is right here within you. You are the magician. Own your power, and you own your power by being present. That once you have COVID, you may have some fears because it was not a pleasant experience if you had a bad case, that you get into these fear states. I know those fear states. When I came off all my MS medicine and all my medicine, the mind wanted to chime up with all this fear, like how are you going to survive without this? You need this medication, you need this. But that's simply not true. I'm not on any medicine right now. Why was that the absolute truth? And what comes to mind is what they say in the Tao that can be spoken is not the great Tao, or the truth that can be spoken is not the great truth. The great truth is right here, that silent witness. The real you is right here. And then we have this trauma of COVID. We're losing our loved ones to this ailment, whatever you want to call it. And that's real. People are suffering real losses, loss of jobs, loss of income. There's a real physical impact to this. And this is causing PTSD, trauma. PTSD is that mind keeping the memories alive of the hardships that you're facing. But there's no right way to grieve. There's no right way to heal. There's no right way for anything. It's just your way. So when you're dealing with this trauma, it's just remembering yourself that I need to keep myself in this moment where all my power is. And this is maybe hard to comprehend. When you lose a loved one, you know that energy of that person is still here. And that may make no sense, but you are that consciousness. You are that eternal flame. And you'll go into different bodies, different experiences, just part of the human journey. That yes, take that time to grieve. The energy of grief is very strong. But your loved ones are still here. They're still perfect spirit, just not in body. You're perfect spirit in body. They're just not in body. And you can see all the mediums out there. You know, they prove that, you know, your loved ones are with you. You know, I once saw Thomas John at one of his, he did a play, and I saw him, and during the middle of the play, he does actual live reading of the audience. And he told me things about my father that you just simply wouldn't know. But he knew that. And then he also tapped into a great uncle of mine. So he knew these things that was impossible. It's just sort of like proof, like, aha, there is something out there. And sometimes I really feel that people need to have a paranormal experience to really ingrain it, that there's something out there that you cannot see, you cannot touch, but you are that energy. And that's hard to comprehend. So now we're dealing with this other trauma now that you have to wear masks, you need to social distance, wash your hands. It's just a lot of fear. They're really trying to instill a lot of fear in us. And that's not helpful. A fear state is a stressful state. A stressful state is a weakened state. It diminishes your immune system. So what are they trying to do? What is their end game of all this fear? They say it's to keep you safe, but is it really? And sometimes I wonder about that. Is it really about keeping us safe or keeping us under control, getting us to conform, taking away our independence? Sometimes you have to wonder about those questions, their motives. I don't know if they're really pure and honest. Because I can see that the COVID cases are going down right now, but yet I'm seeing more fear on TV. Oh, now you have to wear 3 masks, maybe 4 masks soon. They keep adding on more restrictions, more ways of living. And that creates its own set of trauma. Because you know within you, you're doing your best to keep yourself safe. You don't need any interference. This mental junk drawer has enough information. We don't need to keep piling in more fear. We need to let go of that fear and live in this deeper place. Like right now, we do have this opportunity for a great awakening, but most people are not doing that. They're just conforming. They're going with the flow. And I once heard, and I think this is really true, those who go with the flow go down the drain because you're losing that independence that is you. I think I'm losing some steam here of my thoughts, but I think you get the general picture that you have the power. Keep yourself present here in this moment to the best of your ability. Take the time to honor yourself, honor your loved ones. And that should be all the time, not just if they pass. You know, it's usually the joke in the family is the only time you see them is at weddings and funerals. You know, that shouldn't be that way. And I think with all this fear-mongering, they're trying to take away even more of that social interaction. You know, my aunt passed away during the middle of COVID. No one in the family could get together and pay their respects because they're just trying to keep us separate. And that's the whole thing. The mind loves duality, separation, you versus them. But we're all this one perfect spirit, whole and complete, just as we stand. Regardless of the mind's opinion, you are whole and complete, provided for in all ways. But can you get out of the way and trust the universe? Something magical happens when you get this out of the way. Synchronicities just sort of happen. They just sort of line up in ways you can't explain. So you just set your intention in this deep place and you let the universe take care of the steps, if you will, the hows. You don't need to worry about that. Just get yourself quiet. Trust yourself. That's the biggest thing, is just trusting yourself. That there's lots of fear mongering out there. That's nothing new to the human society. And lack and scarcity. That's how all this advertising works. That you need this car over that car. Why? You know, you don't really need anything because you have everything you want right here. All right. Well, take good care of yourself. Hopefully you'll check out my other videos. All right. Be well. Take good care of yourself. Bye for now.